Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how we go from a group of animals or species, like I've got here, my awesome drawings, and how can you create your own dichotomous key, whether it be a tabular key or a branching key. So we've already had a look in, as to how to use them, but now we're actually going to look at how do you create one from scratch. So on the side here, I've got my 5 animals, all artistically drawn because I'm actually an art teacher, not a science teacher. No. So I've got a fish, a snake, a turtle, a bird, and a sheep. That's my second attempt at the sheep. The first one was even worse. So when we're looking at dichotomous keys, the easiest way to know how many steps, how many branches we need is you have a look at how many species or animals that we have. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 animals, which means in the tabular key, we're probably going to end up needing 4 steps. But we, So let's have a look at tabular keys, alright? Now, easiest way to start, always write number 1, and with a tabular key we need 2 steps, A and B. Now, it's up to you with which step you choose to start off with. I am going to start off with legs. So the first one, 1A, so 1A is going to be no legs. So the opposite of no legs is legs. Oh, I didn't put a B there. That's not very good by Mr. McQuaid. So it has legs. So with 1A, we've now branched it. Now, there's no one animal there's not just one animal that has no legs. There's 2, which means we need to go on to the next step. So dot, 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 dot. Go to 2. So let's go to 2. Alright. Now we're having a look at, so if we have a look at the ones that don't have legs, it's fish and snake. Now if we've got fish and snake, what's something that one has that the other one doesn't? I first thought has scales, but both fish and snakes have scales. The biggest thing is one lives on the land and one lives in the sea. So you can have lives on land and lives in sea. And yes, I can hear all you smarty pants saying, "But sir, sea snakes live in the sea." Yes, technically, but this is a land snake. For ease of writing the table. So now we've gone lives on the land. Is there up here only one animal that has no legs and that lives on the land? Yes, it's going to be snake. So, I'm going to change the color pen, sorry. So here you go, snake. 2B, or not 2B. So, you've got, do we have one animal that lives in the sea with no legs? Yes, we have the fish. Awesome. So now we've done 2 of those. We go on to our next letter, which is 3. Oh, my. Alright, so 3A and 3B. Now, there's nothing to jump from there. So if it has legs, we say go to 3. So we've got 3 species left. We've got turtle, bird, and sheep. So the idea is that from this one, we're able to isolate one of the animals. Now, if we're having a look here, is there one thing that 2 of them have in common? Yes. How many legs does the sheep have? It has 4. How many legs does a turtle have? It has 4. Which means that the one by itself is the bird. So, if it has legs, the next one is going to be how many legs does it have? So if it has 2 legs or so if it has 2 legs, if this animal has legs and there's only 2 of them, which animal is it going to be? It's going to be the bird. Whereas if it has 4 legs, we've still got 2 options, which means we need to go to the next step. So we have to say 2, 4. 1 more left. We have 4. A and B. So now we've got a turtle and a sheep left. We can differentiate them from one characteristic that one has, the other one doesn't. So one thing that a turtle has that a sheep doesn't is a shell. So you could have has shell and doesn't have a shell. That's a good way to distinguish it. Or you could go with the sheep. Has wool, doesn't have wool. As long as you've got one that one has and one the other one does not, that can be the differentiating factor. So this is why sometimes the tabular key can be slightly different from person to person, but as long as you end up at the same thing. So I want to go has shell and doesn't have a shell. So has a shell, doesn't have a So, if your animal here has legs, has 4 of them, and has a shell, it is going to be a turtle. Whereas if it has legs and it has 4 of them, but it doesn't have a shell, it is going to be a sheep. And with that, you have now completed your tabular dichotomous key. So I find this one easier to do, but I am going to quickly swap these around, move branching key into the middle, get rid of the tabular key, and I'm going to show you a more visual way of representing a dichotomous key that some of you guys actually might find easier. Both of these are correct, and you're more than welcome to do either. Alright, back with an empty board. Tabular key's gone. You can always just go and rewind and rewatch that if you need to. But now we're going to be looking at drawing a branching key. So, branching key starts at one thing and works its way down. So it spreads out like a branch. Alright, so the first one is, what are red and blue? So we start off with, what are they? They are animals. And they always kind of branch off like this, so out and then down. So with our first question last time, we had legs or no legs. So on this side, I'm going to say no legs, and on this one they have legs. So you animal, no legs. So let's focus on this no leg side. So we have 2, so it needs to branch off again. So when we had our no legs last time, what were the 2 caveats or the 2 things that we had to look at? It was where it lived. One lived in the sea, one lived on land. So again, no legs, branch, so how are they different? So if I write lives on land and lives in sea. Oh no, actually, that's technically not correct. Fish live in rivers as well. So we go down. Now, from no legs and lives on land, we actually can't go any further. There's only one animal, and it is a snake. And there's only one animal that lives in the water with no legs in our little group here, and it is the fish. Alright? So we've now ticked off 2 of our animals. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So that side of the key is now done. Let's focus on this side of the key. So we distinguished between legs and no legs. Then we had a look at something else about the animals with legs. We looked at the number of legs. So we have a branch again. So down, out, and down. So one of them is going to have 2 legs, and one of them is going to have 4 legs. Now, it's very important, well, not really important, but it's easier if you have the one that's the least amount of options on the inside, so you don't have to keep branching down this way, because if you could think branching out, you're going to run out of space. So the option that has one option, doesn't really make sense, but hopefully it will when I draw this, is the bird. So we have 2 legs and 4 legs. 2 legs. Alright, so how many animals do we have that only have 2 legs? We have 1. So we just draw a straight line down. And how many animals do we have that have 4 legs? We have 2, which means we need to have another branch. So the only animal there that has 2 legs is a bird. Awesome, bird's done. Now we go from, is it an animal? Yes. Does it have legs? Yes. Does it have 4 legs? Yes. We have turtle and sheep left. So now we can break those down into 2 more categories. The one I used last time was has a shell, doesn't have a shell. I'm going to use that again, but again you can do anything like sheeps are mammals and turtles are reptiles. You can break them down that way. You can say that sheep have wool and turtles don't have wool, or that sheep have large ears and turtles don't have large ears. They've just got kind of holes on the side of their head. Anything that distinguishes the 2 different animals or species that you're looking at, you can use, whichever one you prefer. But again, I'm going to go shell, so you can just write shell and no shell. So, we have only one animal that has, when it has legs, it has 4 and it has a shell, so we can draw a straight line down, and same with this one. This is a turtle and this is a sheep. So now we have a branching dichotomous key, which means as long as you follow the line and keep answering the questions, you will end up at your animal. So if I was like, alright, so I don't know what this one is. Pretend we don't know what bird is. We go, alright, let's follow it. Is it an animal? Yes. Awesome. Does it have legs? Yeah, it's got legs, boy. How many legs does it have? 2 or 4? Well, this one here has 2 legs. Down to 2 legs? The name of that one is bird. If we wanted to know the name of snake, we could start again. Is it an animal? Yes. Does it have legs? No. Does it live on the land or live in the water? It lives on the land. Down, it's a snake. Sheep is an animal. Start there. Does it have legs? Yes. How many legs does it have? 4 legs. Does it have a shell? No shell. It is a sheep. So this is, you get the exact same information as you would in the tabular key, but it's a more visual way of representing it, and it means that you can just follow it down the path. So some people find this one much easier to do. I personally prefer the other one because it's easier to try and keep in a small space. This one takes a little bit more room and a little bit more planning. But again, both are 100% completely correct. So if you guys need to go back and re-watch this to have a look and see how to do a tabular key or how to do a branching key, please go back to the start of the video. Or if you just want to watch this all again and see my silly drawings, or listen to my voice because you're missing me so much like I'm missing you guys. If not, hopefully this was helpful for creating dichotomous keys, and I'll catch you in the next video.